experience of having an instant girlfriend?
Yes, after 2013, I came here several times to the Philippines from the US, and I met girls online.
But you were
So-
still working then, right?
I'm still working, yes. I came here on vacation for 2-3 weeks, sometimes 3, sometimes 2. And I chatted with girls online. It was kind of weird because some girls I chatted, and I swear to God, within 30 minutes they were telling me that they love me. Yeah, that's what I thought. What the fuck? She doesn't even love me.
What's wrong with all these girls saying they love you? It's like...
Yeah, they just throw it out there. What they don't understand is like if you're throwing it out there that fast, to me, you're throwing it out there too fast to everybody else, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, but I met some wonderful girls online and we chatted, we talked to each other on Skype.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I arrived, they either met me at the airport or if it was really late, they had gone into my hotel room. I gave them permission. I called the reception, said they can go into the hotel room. And within one day,
Okay.
I mean, to be honest, it was within few hours.
So it's not Monday then?
Within few hours, we were boyfriend, girlfriend, you know?
So fast.
And those girls I was talking to, I was kind of serious. So the camera cut out just now, so I have to continue where I was. But anyway, within a few hours, we were boyfriend, girlfriend, like I said. And, you know, we went around the Philippines, we had a great time. But to be honest, talking to someone online, chatting, even with a video call, you don't get that vibe feeling, that chemistry, if that person is good for you or not. And most of the time I came here, yeah, the girls were wonderful, don't get me wrong. They're pretty, they're young, they're vibrant, sexy, and had lots of good fun, but just wasn't what I was looking for. And so I always tell people, if you're gonna come here, this is one of the warnings I tell people, if you're gonna come here, don't meet anybody at the airport. Don't get an instant girlfriend. If you're coming here to live, that is. If you're coming here for vacation, yeah, instant girlfriends are wonderful. But if you're coming here like to stay long term, don't meet anybody. Just come here, chill. There's so many beautiful girls.
You gotta experience the Philippines, they say.
In more ways than one, huh? In more ways than one. But yeah, but the thing is, like, the thing you don't understand, because you've lived here all your life and you're not a guy. So, but in the West, in the US and also in Europe, the dynamic between the man and the woman is different. Especially now, especially these last few years, it's changed. It's more of an adversarial type of relationship and kind of dating. It's not fun. Like in the US, these last few years I was dating, it was never fun. You know, it was always like a burden you had to do to get to an end point. You know, it was nothing fun about it. And also the women in the US, they're very different. On average, of course there's wonderful women there too, but on average they're very different. They have an entitlement, they have an attitude, they're not feminine, you know, the way Filipinos are. And just as a Western guy, you have a certain mentality that you take with you here to the Philippines. It's a Western mentality, you know, and it takes a while for your brain to adapt to the new reality, for your confidence to build up, for you to see all these wonderful options that you have, that you don't have to settle for this girl here. Because in the West, if it had this girl here, she'd have been pretty good catch. But over here, it might not be a good catch at all, you know? So I say, date around when you first come. Relax, let your brain adapt to the new reality, to the new. So it's just, I think people need to come here, not go online, date girls. Girls here are so easy to meet. They're so wonderful when you talk to them at the mall. You go to the market, you'll meet them. They give you eye contact, they smile at you, you talk, you make a joke. There's none of that like if you go to the US as an example, you know, I'm 50 plus, right? And you go, if I go to a girl who's like 30, 31, 32, and I try talking to her, this will be her reaction, right? You know? Like,
It's so rude.
And it might even be this one, what do you want, you know? Why are you harassing me? You know?
That's not even arousing.
No, in the US it might be actually. If the girl doesn't like you, it's harassment now. You know? If the girl likes it, it's all good, but she doesn't like it, it's harassment. So, yeah, it's just a different world. I find dating here is actually fun. You know, like when I was single and when we were kind of dating, it was fun. You know, when I was before you, I dated girls. I never like thought, oh my God, I'm going to go on a date. No, it was exciting to go on a date. You know, it was
New experience.
new experience. You got to
Every
eat,
girl
to laugh.
Experience, you know.
Yeah, everybody's different. Everybody's character is different. Their history is different. Their life experience is different. So it's always fun to find out about that. So yeah, I mean, so back to the instant girlfriend. I think some guys, they'll come here and they'll see this girl and have this instant girlfriend, but you have to be a bit careful, because I think for guys that are used to a situation that's completely different, it's like euphoric. It's like endorphins in your brain, and sometimes I think you can't see straight, you know, because this is new. It's great. You've never experienced this. You haven't experienced this since your 20s maybe, and it's like
being blinded,
yeah. And you don't see the bad stuff. You don't see the bad stuff maybe with this girl, and you don't see the other good stuff with the other girls. So I think people, if they come here and they have an instant girlfriend, I think they regret it. Like when I first came here, I met a girl, and she'd been a girl I met previously in one of those trips. As soon as I landed, not as soon as, but that night I just called her, and she showed up. Within 30 minutes she showed up, and within 2 hours we were boyfriend girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
Again.
Okay.
You know, but it was really not a good idea, because I never, those 2 or 3 months we dated, I didn't really have time to look and see my other options and all that. She's a nice girl, don't get me wrong, but she just wasn't a good fit for me. We didn't have the same type of chemistry that me and you have, the way we laugh, the way we can chill. We both like to read, we both like to do a lot of stuff the same. We didn't have that fit, I mean, she was a good girl, she'd be a good fit for somebody else, but just for me, she wasn't. And for me, it was like, I wouldn't say wasted time. It wasn't 3 months of wasted time, but it was, I could have been enjoying my time more by being more open and more. But at the time, I was still used to that Western mentality, and I didn't have the confidence to go up and talk to a girl at the mall. Now I can go up and talk to a girl like this, nothing. It's easy. Back then I'd be like, if thinking about it, I'd be sweating. You know what I mean? It's like, if I saw a girl, I was like, oh my God, she's nice, I think, I want to get to know her. It was hard, unless it was in a certain setting, like with friends and friends of friends, and we're having a few drinks, then it was easy. But just going up to a person, cold talking, like to a girl that you don't know, she's not a friend of a friend or something, but here, that's not a problem. I don't find that a problem at all. I find girls are so welcoming. You talk to them. You could be at a restaurant with another guy friend, and maybe a girl saying, they say, hey, how are you? Fine, how are you? Oh, you're here alone, and you just start talking,
Yeah.
And she's into the talking too. You can tell she's like wanting to talk, even if she's not interested in you in that way, like in that type of relationship type, boyfriend, girlfriend. She still wants to talk. She's so curious about you, where you're from, what you're doing here, how long you've lived here, what your background is. They're very curious, and it's the social environment here is so different. So I would say, again, if you're coming here to live, forget the instant girlfriend. Come here, take your time,
enjoy,
be single for 12 months. I wasn't, but I would recommend being single for 12 months. Get your brain to adapt to the new reality. enjoy the life, enjoy the single life. Because once you meet someone you really, really like, you know, there's no more single life, right?
Yeah.
You're with that person, that's not a bad thing, but you know, you only have a certain amount of time you're going to be single unless you're planning to be single. Hell, I was planning to be single for a long time till I met her. So things change. What does Paul McGill say? He has a good saying. Show God your plans and he'll laugh at them. I love that saying, you know, because we all have plans, but they always go to hell.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, so things are different here, and I guess that's the point I'm trying to get across.